Hello and welcome. I'm Annette Reeder from thebiblicalnutritionist.com. And today I just want to share with you what is the actual role that sugar plays in cancer. There's a lot of theories on the internet, and I just want to help you understand, is it true or is it false on how the role of sugar can either exacerbate cancer and cause rapid growth, or does it even matter? Well, we're going to talk about it today. Here are 4 tips to help you understand the role of sugar in cancer. Well, tip number 1 is glucose is energy. It's energy for every single cell in our body. It's what people will drink when they're getting ready to run a marathon, when they are getting ready to bike a century ride. When you just have that just down in your day, it's like, I just need some energy. So many times people will reach for glucose. Glucose comes in many forms. It could be in fruit. It could be in different foods. Glucose is found in many foods besides fruit. And it's what our body uses for energy. Now, for those of you who have researched keto, you realize actually we don't have to get glucose from our diet. We can burn energy when we're in ketosis. And there's truth to that as well. Yet glucose has always been what people have gone to when they need a quick energy pick-me-up. Now, I am not giving an excuse that cookie or cupcake is where you need to go when you just need some energy. No, that's not where I'm going to. If you need energy, yes, grab a banana, grab an orange, and you'll be good to go. But let's look at that. So glucose is an energy source for all cells, including cancer cells. That's fact number 1. Number 2 is cancer cells are hungry. In fact, they are the quickest growing, the most rapidly producing. Now, this is kind of a generalization. Not all cancer cells are super fast and growing and aggressive, but many are. Yet the truth is all cancer cells do have a higher need for energy than your regular cells. And because of this, sugar is a natural feed for them. Cancer cells tend to consume more glucose compared to just our normal cells. Now, this phenomenon was originally known as the Warburg effect. It's a metabolic variation that's commonly seen in cancer cells. It just allows them to meet their energy needs and to support their rapid growth. And so that's what you're going to learn pretty much on all the different sites. So cancer cells do consume energy. The idea of the PET scan is to give your body a dose of sugar so they can see where the highest activity is. Well, the highest activity is because of the cancer gobbling up that sugar dose that you just drank. This is why the conclusions are so accurate to say cancer cells love sugar. Now, just eliminating sugar doesn't necessarily mean that you eliminate your cancer or you never have cancer ever in your life if you never eat sugar. It's not that simple. It's a very multi-factorial effect that happens in our body. There are many reasons why cancer cells begin and why they are allowed to grow. And there's several reasons that help cancer cells to be starved and to be eliminated. All right, so that's number 2. Number 3, it's not all sugar. It's the development and progression of cancer. You need to understand it's very multifactorial and it involves various items such as our environment, our lifestyle, and just other things that we take in, and also our beliefs. Many people don't give attention to the fact that stress feeds cancer cells, yet we can do something about it. And so recognize that it's not just the sugar that causes cancer. And it's not just sugar, eliminating it, that's going to remove cancer. Yet it is. It is an energy source for the cancer, and it can make the cancer grow faster. So although we can't say it is the one and done answer to getting rid of and eliminating cancer, it is a highly contributing factor to the growth of your cancer cells. We all know people who have been in stage 4 cancer and they've been in treatments and they're not eating anything and the cancer is still growing. And so that's why we have to recognize this is not a one and done, yet it is a highly contributing factor. So we have to look at all of the other elements that are also feeding into this growth of that cancer cell. And then number 4, balance is essential. We have to look at our diet. It doesn't matter. When I was traveling with my mom to different specialists, and both natural and conventional, I would go to the library, and all of the books agree diet has a huge impact on what types of cancers, and the cellular growth of cancers, and the elimination of cancer. And some books will say 60%, others will say as high as 85% of your cancer growth is dependent on your diet. Well, we have to recognize the fact that cancer cells, just the cancer rates being diagnosed in today's society is escalating. Yet if you follow the trend of our food being manipulated and gone from God's gift to man's lab experiment, that accelerated growth in the grocery store is very much in similar pattern to the number of cancer diagnoses each year. And we've already experienced cancer just in our small family of 4. I traveled this road with my mom. She was given a 5-year sentence with her cancer, and she lived 19 years. She's in heaven now with the Lord. She's much better off there than where she was here. But yet she experienced so many good things, weddings of her children, her grandchildren, her great-grandchildren, and births, traveled to Australia, to Israel. She didn't let anything stop her. And she had, of those 19 years, she had really, really good years. But so we have to look at what is the stress factors that are affecting you spiritually, physically, and mentally. What is the lifestyle that you live? Are you exercising? Because exercise burns up glucose really quickly, and we need our body to be toned and in shape. We need our lymphatic system to be working strong for us. And exercise is key to those principles to work well. We need to be eating according to the 3 principles. Principle number 1, let me just go over these again because this is where we base all of our foundation. Number 1 is eat the foods God called good. You go back to Genesis 1, he created and he called it good. The word good in the book of Genesis, it means excellent of its kind, valuable in estimation. That's what God meant when he called something good. After 6 days, he looks at everything and he says, it's very good. You were created by God. You were created just the perfect sex that you should be at the perfect time that you were to be born. And you were, at the moment of conception, he loved you. And he has a plan for you. And so you also are good, more good than the orange. And so recognize principle number 1, eat the foods God called good for you. Not good for the pigs, not good for the crows, or good for the turkey vultures, but good for you. And then number 2 gets a little tricky because of all of the lab experiments. Man discovers and then isolates and then sells. God blesses and our body does well with it. So principle number 2 is eat the foods as close to the way God designed it. So if I want to get all of the bioflavonoids that are included in the orange to make the vitamin C work faster, then I need to eat the entire orange, which is more effective than doing vitamin C supplements. Now, I am totally in favor of supplements because they have helped me overcome many things that food wasn't enough. So I'm totally in favor of that. And there are times if we have a severe sickness, and my mom did the vitamin C infusion, I'm totally in favor of that as well. And the new liposomal vitamin C, if you have a company that you can trust, will work too. But on a daily basis, make sure you, your children, your grandchildren is getting in natural vitamin C. So we need to understand that balance is essential. Eat healthy, exercise daily, keep your body toned, do your ab muscle strengthening exercises so that you'll never fall. Do your bone density test, so make sure your osteoporosis is never going to happen. Osteopenia should not be a diagnosis you ever hear. Eating God's foods prevents that. And that's why verses talk about being able to go dancing or coming out of the pen like a calf, newborn calf. And so balance is essential. But when our diet is filled with processed foods, high calorie sugar foods, then our cells, they atrophy. They starve. And they're forced to take in what you have just swallowed. Think about that. You are force feeding your cells that Dorito chip or that Oreo. I'm not trying to bring food to your mind. I'm just saying you're force feeding that into your cells because they have to deal with it. And you just had a little blissful moment for a second, and now you have forced your cells to take in toxins. So think about that. Enjoy something that's real, that God gave you, and then bless the Lord your God for the good land He has given you. Where He has you planted is where He wants you to thrive. And so just remember, sugar can be blamed for a lot, and it deserves all of that blame. But we can't just call it a one and done. Sugar does contribute to the growth of the cancer cells, but it's not a one and done. It's not the only contributing factor. Investigate your prayer life, balance out your stress, do your exercise, eat the foods that you can recognize as a gift from the Lord, and not with a label like Kraft or Pillsbury or Cargill or on the back of the label, DuPont. It doesn't matter. None of those words should be on your food. Just God's amazing grace. So thank you for letting me share this with you. And I really pray from the deepest part of my heart that God will bring the healing that you desire. And that as you learn to love Him and to receive Him into your heart as your personal Savior, because there's only one true God. He's the Alpha and Omega. And there's only one true God with a capital G. He is the living God. And He loves you intensely and desires to have a personal relationship with you. Thanks for letting me share this with you, and thanks for watching The Biblical Nutritionist.